What up? This is a real quick one. I don't even have the lighting right, but I just want to run this by you guys because you have not heard it from Black Lives Matter. It has not been in the news, and I kind of wonder why. I know a lot of folks suggest that there is an agenda from Black Lives Matter. I do somewhat believe that. If it does not involve the killing of an African American or a minority by someone white, a lot of Black Lives Matter sympathizers do not seem to give a damn about it. This is a case in Philadelphia, an undercover Philadelphia police officer by the name of Saul Mendoza. I believe he's Hispanic. You look at the picture here, he looks almost African American, but he's clearly a minority. 26 years of age. He pulls up beside a car containing two juveniles, one being Thomas TJ Siderio. Now, as you can see, TJ looks to be Caucasian. Once again, with their names, it's a bit difficult to tell. With a name like Siderio, I don't know if he is Hispanic or not, but I just wanted to show you this because it has not appeared in any of the major news wires until today. This happened in March of this year, so we're talking about almost 2 months ago. Anyhow, Mendoza has now been charged with murder. Apparently, he pulled up beside the car containing TJ and another minor that was 17 years of age. TJ is only 12. TJ apparently opened fire on the undercover officer. There were two other officers with Mendoza at the time who took cover. Mendoza chased this 12-year-old, in which the 12-year-old, I suppose, realizing he was about to get caught, discarded the weapon, and Mendoza shot him in the back anyway. And based on the testimony, it appears that Mendoza knew that the child had threw away his weapon and shot him in the back regardless. I just want to run this by you because it has not appeared in any of the typical agenda-driven media outlets. You didn't hear a lot about it on CNN. Now, this happened in March. So you would assume that the parents or attorneys that are involved, folks knew about it, and it just did not get major attention. Why is that? Certainly you have not heard the Sharptons, the Jacksons, Ben Crump, or anyone acting on this. Now, like I said, looking at the picture of both individuals, it does look like the officer is a minority and the victim is a Caucasian. Why would a 12-year-old open fire on police officers? That is a whole different story. But however, let's be clear. A lot of the folks that meet unsavory endings from police officers were in the process of committing felonies when it happened. Everyone from Rodney King to George Floyd on up. None of these folks had halos over their heads. So let's be clear. It's not about whether the person was a child of God or not. It's about whether they were killed in an unlawful manner. And in this case, it definitely appears, so to speak, that the authorities in Philadelphia has charged one of their own with murder. Just have to ask the question, had you heard about this outside of today, whereas it looks like the cop has been charged? Had this gained any attention? Why are there no protests? Why is there no outcry? Minority cop shoots what looks like a Caucasian victim, 12 years old, by the way. So we're talking about he shot a juvenile in the back from less than a car length away, walked up to this child, absolutely knew he had discarded his weapon. And I'm not defending the child. I mean, he opened fire on police. But once the assailant no longer has a weapon in his hand, by law, you can't shoot him, particularly if you know he does not have a weapon in his hand. And the story on this one is that the child he shot was already on the ground, face down. He walked up to him and literally shot him in the back. Does it outrage you or not? That would be the second question. Does this even outrage you? After all, this is someone who opened fire on a plainclothes officer. So by no means is this a child of God. This is a bad kid. I hate to speak ill of the deceased, but at 12 years of age, not only are you carrying a gun, but you're actively committing felonies with it. So it is what it is, but I'm just asking this question because this has not made the news. You see how this child looks. You see how the cop looked. And you have to wonder, is there some type of hidden agenda from those who generally protest controversial police shootings as to why this has not gained any attention of any significance? This is about as controversial and illegal of an act that an officer could commit. So why is that?